So the Indiana Fever, obviously, next season are going to look quite a bit different. So they have obviously got their plans. They've got their plans with obviously losing Temi. They have an idea of what they're going to do with that. They've got their idea of what they're going to do with other players. But for me, there is a player that I really strongly feel that they need to trade for. This is the only team we know for a fact they're tanking, and I think that there is a real possibility that this player could be made free. And I don't people don't realize just how important glue guys are in the WNBA, because they are the role that's the type of role that it's just been underappreciated. Like, the 3-and-D role doesn't really exist. Like, a big 3-and-D player like Leona Fibic is literally an anomaly. Like, people were saying she was almost going to be out. I remember literally her first game, and they're like, well, she's 6'4", and she's a great perimeter defender, and she's a really, really elite shooter, 2-time MVP in the Spanish league, but like, I don't think she's got the post-up game to play in the WNBA. And I'm like, are you people that dumb talking about it? And I think it has led to some of the better players in the league being extremely underappreciated. And if you want to look at teams that are going to be tanking into next season, the Atlanta Dream will not be tanking, because again, they're just not going to tank. They might be bad, they're not going to tank. Wings are not tanking. Golden State Valkyries are tanking, but don't have anyone we're trading for. The Chicago Sky really depends on who they get as their guards. I would be shocked if they make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to tank. The Aces are not going to tank. The Sun depends if Duana Bonner and Alyssa Thomas leave. They might tank and try to build around Dejanay and Mabry. The Sparks, Sparks are tanking. But, the Sparks aren't tanking. They don't even have their pick next year. The one team we know for a fact they're tanking are the Mystics. And if you know about the Mystics roster, they don't really have anyone that, they don't have any bad players at all. This whole team, Shakira Austin is a borderline all-star. Not going to be traded. I really like Sika Kone. Second youngest player in the W last season, really like her. Really like Jade Melbourne as a player, the youngest player in the WNBA last year. Doesn't matter, this is going to be her third year next year. She is still a year younger than Paige Beckers. She will be going into her fourth WNBA season, and she is a year younger than Paige Beckers, which is hilarious. Jade Melbourne, super player. She's bigger than 5'10". Brittany Sykes, I actually like her, don't like her fit, because I think she's a little bit too short. Emily Engsler, I don't think they're going to get rid of Emily Engsler. She was taken by the Fever, but she is if the Fever could get Emily Engsler, she is a 6'1", 3'4'5" who shoots the lights out and plays defense and doesn't need the ball in her hands. Aaliyah Edwards, obviously, is not going to be there. Walker Kimber as a free agent. Carly Samuelson. But they're not going to get rid of Engsler because of how young she is. Carly Samuelson, okay. But I think Ariel Atkins has become the most underrated player in the entire WNBA. First player in WNBA history to make all defense team each of her first 5 seasons. She's played 7 years. She's won a championship. She's a 2-time All-Star. She won a gold medal. I think she should have been on this Olympic team because she's a lockdown defender. She can shoot the 3. She can create from mid, and she is locked down. This is not like Lexi Hull, decent defender. No, this is lockdown defense. And you might be saying, oh, you need size. No, you don't. No, you don't. Lou Dort, the Oklahoma City Thunder, even in men's basketball, you don't need size when you're defending on the perimeter. No one's going to rise up and dunk on you. She's going to be guarding 5'10" players. She's going to be an elite guard. Caitlin Clark already guards small forwards. Ariel Atkins is the perfect trade target. She is the perfect trade target. The Mystics are going to be trying to tank. They're going to be actively making their team worse. They are way too good, and they have 2 high picks next year, one of which is almost certainly going to be going on Dominique Malonga. I don't think a team is going to take Dominique Malonga in the top 3. I think she is going to be taken 4 and be one of the just craziest draft picks. They're going to use 1 pick on her And they're probably going to use one pick on a point guard because they lost Julie Vanloo. So I would say the point guard they're going to take, maybe they're going to try take Tahina Pow and player there. There's no real point guards. Maybe they'll get one in free agency. Maybe they'll try to get Sloot or something, but Sloot might make the team a bit too good. But they're not trying to win. So if you go out next year with a lineup of Shakira Austin, Aaliyah Edwards, Ariel Atkins, Brittany Sykes, and Carly Samuelson, and play Sykes a point guard, you are making the playoffs. And this is a team who fired their coach and their GM because their coach and GM refused to tank. They fired both of them because they refused to tank. So they're tanking. We know that. Ariel Atkins is going to be available. She is a absolutely elite complimentary piece. Like, people don't understand. I remember people were like, oh, Ariel Atkins was really bad this season. It's like, she's not meant to be a number one option. And even sometimes she was really good as a number one option. Like, genuinely, she's someone that can lock down the other team's best player while dropping 20 on the other end. Like, there are not many players that can do that in the WNBA. There are really not. And there are not that many players that can do that with championship experience as a fourth option. That Washington Mystics team in 2019, she was a starter. She was, I think they made the 2018 finals with her as a starter as a rookie. Like, she had one of the best rookie playoff runs of all time. She was genuinely, there is no more perfect player for the Fever to trade for. Like, everyone wanting Satu. I think, yeah, Satu's great and all. But Lexi Hull's not good enough to be a starter on a championship team. She's just not. You got to upgrade on Lexi. You've got it. And she is 10 times better than Lexi Hull. And again, you could probably get her for Smith. Smith in a second. She won't cost what Satu costs. Like, I'm very, very much, like, Satu is a star. This team doesn't need a star. And if Kelsey Mitchell demands a trade out, I'm trying to make some 3-team trade and a rating. Like, I'm wanting, like, a first, even if it's on a 1-year rental, like, I'm wanting a first. I'm wanting someone of the level of an Ariel Atkins to come right in for Kelsey Mitchell as a starter. And even if Kelsey Mitchell's gone, it's Ariel Atkins in. Like, that doesn't make the team that much worse. Ariel Atkins and Lexi Hull's your 2 good defensive wings. It means you just get a defensive power forward and you're a good defensive team all of a sudden. But, yeah, I think she is so underrated. And I think a lot of people are so bogged down on Satu that they're not really looking at everything else. And I'm going to make a video talking about that tomorrow. I'm like, is it Satu or bust? Obviously, the reality is no. And not only is it Satu or bust, I don't think the Fever are getting Satu. So I don't think there's much of a point in talking about it. Because, unpopular opinion, I think Satu's going to New York to form a super duper team. And I don't think the team has the Fever have much of a shot of winning next year.